Hello, Professor. I'm going to talk to you today about the proportional approach that I was assigned to discuss in class. And later in a second video, I am going to talk to you about the syllabus that I designed on cross-cultural and diversity of meaning. So, the proportional approach, as seen in this mind map, has a main purpose, and it is to attempt to develop an overall competence. This proportional approach consists of a number of elements with the theme playing a linking role through the units. Later, I'll provide an example of what I understood this is going to be done during a course. What is important to highlight here as well about the proportional approach is that it is expected initially to be focused on form. That's going to be the central value, but later it's going to focus on the interactional components, which is probably what most of the syllabus are entitled to do, of the new trends, of course, but are having struggles when achieving this or when trying to achieve this. This syllabus, and particularly what I like about this one, is that it's designed to be dynamic, not static, with ample opportunity for feedback and flexibility. So I understand this opportunity for feedback and flexibility as um, students and teachers having the chance to give feedback not on the student's performance as usually happens in our classes, but uh, in regards to the contents. The students are going to provide opinions on what they just saw and how they reacted to the contents. And the flexibility is going to be to veer more towards, the option of changing or adding something else. And this is how I understand this dynamic of the syllabus. Sorry. Um, Another part that's important here to state is that, uh, as we stated before as well, sorry, it is not fixed, and not in just the order of the contents or the elements as explained previously, but also not fixed in terms of the stratum of the learner ability, which is something that we saw in many syllables before, especially those from the old perspective of syllabus design, which are, which require the student or the teacher to consider the student's stage and ability and competence or performance to move on to a more advanced level. Here, this is not relevant. Something that this proportional approach is going to allow is recycling. Sorry, let me move this over here a little bit. Recycling of language, which is the spiral method of language sequencing, which for me is very important. Not most of the time we have the chance to reuse what we once saw in the previous class. And the other thing is that it's going to allow us exposure to the target language. So the example that I talked before and that I'm going to use now was the one that we were discussing with my classmates in class. And it's about, let's say, students are learning today about social issues in Africa. Most of the time in our courses, we change drastically to another topic that has nothing to do with today's topic. So what we're going to do, and this linking role is going to be played, through these same thematic options. So let's say that the next week we're going to talk about social problems in Latin America, or current political issues in Colombia. So they are going to be able, through that theme, that linking theme, they are going to be able to recycle the language, recycle what they learned in the previous classes, and use it, especially when these students do not have exposure to the target language and are restricted to using the language and what they just learned, what consequently creates or decreases the opportunity to learn the language itself. So that, Professor Carlos, it's my understanding of the proportional approach, and which I intend to somehow cover in my next video explaining the syllabus on cross-cultural and diversity of meaning. Thank you.